Steam. It was the most wishlisted game for a minute, and then Hogwarts Legacy overtook it, and I just figured the PC release was scheduled to drop in March, and I felt like we were so close to the release of this game that ultimately it was going to hit its March release window, and I thought that wouldn't be a big deal, especially because when you get so close to a release, seeing a game get delayed, it's not out of the realm of possibility, but it's pretty rare for it to happen, and the reason for the day before's delay isn't something we see all that common at all. Dare I say, I've never seen a delay be done for this reason, but nonetheless, maybe it's happened in the past. It's an 8-month delay. The day before on PC is now coming on November 10th. Now, the game was never scheduled to drop on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series on March 1st. That was never going to be the case, but the fact that a PC version was scheduled for a release on March 1st, I think that was at least going to give us some clarity into what that game was going to be, and I think that would, quell some of the skepticism regarding the game, to say the least. Because the fact then would be, hey, the game is on PC and we can see what it is exactly about. Now, the reasoning for this delay, again, a lot of the times, a delay for a game, it's to add more polish to the game. It's to flesh out some of the content, etc., etc., and in the case of Day Before, I think if people got hit with something like that, if they were told that, hey, it's to polish the game a little bit more, it wouldn't be taken all too well because, again, we're 5 weeks away from the release. 5 weeks. You should have known that a game needed to be delayed well ahead of time. And this is always my thinking if it comes to a delay to polish a game more. The delay shouldn't be within a time frame before the release of the game that's longer than the delay itself. Well, in this case, the delay isn't to polish a game, it's because of this trademark delay. So, the official message from the developers note, "Dear fans, right before the release, Steam blocked our game page at the request of a private individual because of the name The Day Before. As you know, the game was announced in January of 2021, and at the time of the announcement, the Day Before game trademark was available. After the announcement of the game, the above-mentioned individual filed out an application before us to register the game trademark The Day Before in the United States. Previously, and we were not aware of the existence of claims. We found out about this only on January 19, 2023 when we received a complaint from him and a request to contact him. Now we found out all the circumstances of the incident and we will definitely solve everything. We previously planned to post a lengthy gameplay video later this month, but we'll have to sort out this issue first. We will post a video as soon as possible. As a result, we have made the difficult decision to postpone the launch to November 10th. We understand this may disappoint our fans. Our 100% focus remains on the game itself, etc., etc. You guys get the idea. The thing is, I don't know how you can immediately put a release date that people are going to take seriously, not only because of the fact that, hey, like, this is a game that has had a bit of a tumultuous development time, but also, how do you know how long this situation is going to take to resolve? Like, is this going to be a lengthy process? And if it's not, well, 10 months to resolve this issue? That does sound like a lengthy period. And obviously, they wanted to drop a gameplay video this month, but now we're not even getting that gameplay video. And I think the idea of the gameplay video was that will, like, initially quell some of the skepticism regarding the game, because as we headed into this PC release of the game, I think that skepticism was still very much there. I think a lot of people were not completely sold on the game, and now, now I just think this is an absolute nightmare situation for the people that were excited for the game, and really, now the questions are gonna arise, and it already did, let's not get it twisted, it was already arising that, is this game even real? And I don't know if this game is real, but when you hit people with something that people were saying, hey, it's The Last of Us crossed with The Division, obviously people were gonna be incredibly excited about it. Again, the game was, at one point, the most wishlisted game on Steam, which is like crazy to me given that this was a brand new IP. It's not like the development studio or anything like that. It was super well known, so how it just blew up in anticipation and excitement was kind of ridiculous, and you see it being promoted at a lot of spots, like your NVIDIA events and your, tech events and whatnot. You'll see The Day Before get promoted and, ray tracing tech demos, etc., etc. But yeah, at this point, I don't really know how this game can be salvaged, which is super unfortunate because, again, I do know this was a game that everybody, or a lot of people, were super excited for. I think it's more popular within the PC community, and I had referenced that, hey, it was was the most wishlisted game on Steam. On PlayStation, I think people were like, hey, cool that this game is coming to PlayStation 5 at some point as well, and Xbox Series, but it never reached that level of clamor and buzz that obviously the PC version had, given that we knew the PC version was coming first, and the fact that there was a Steam page live. I don't believe it ever got a PlayStation Store page, so it'll be interesting to see how this game turns out. Interesting may not be the right verbiage to say, to use when it comes to the day before. You know, I think people have lost a lot of faith in this game, but hopefully at some point we do see it, you know, be released. And I know a lot of people are just referencing this game as like a gigantic hoax and it's not real, and people are getting bait and switch for as long as I can remember with this game, and I really don't know how to dissect it. Even if the entirety of this thing, I see a lot of people just saying BS on this like trademark thing, and they don't believe that. But even if like it is real, let's just assume it is real, this is such a bad look on the game given that everything else surrounding the game. And if this isn't real, I would have just said, hey, like the game isn't ready and we're gonna delay it. That's always gonna be a better route to go, because if this is real, you just see the rhetoric online. Nobody believes that this is the case, but maybe they thought that this was the best route to go, and maybe this is the real issue. Like, that is possible that this is the real issue and people are like calling BS when that's not the case. But obviously perception is reality, and when I just saw the game got announced for a delay, I was like, there's no way, nothing you say is going to salvage the fact of, you know, people being upset that it is delayed and then claiming that this game isn't real. I just think that because this is such a game with a weird development cycle, having a reason like this is just gonna make people even more skeptical. It's not gonna like lessen the skepticism regarding the game, but that's just my 2 cents. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. Again, I do know this game is more so one that people are excited for on the PC side of things, but it was scheduled to come to PS5 and Xbox Series, and I think ultimately if it did come out on PS5 and Xbox Series, it would be seen as a game that people would get really excited for. But that's just my 2 cents. I think also it would have depended on how the PC version actually turned out. If the PC version came out on March 1st, let's say, and it was just a complete train wreck, well,